Alright, I screwed up with in terms of the recording amount, but hello everyone, my name is Yugioh.
I am Late Night CJ, aka Sweet Daddy in the streets.
And this is, I posted a few videos in like the last 2 weeks relating to this game, being Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. It's basically a mobile game that's on consoles that's also on mobile right now. So, like you can play it on your phone, you can play it on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, you can play it on all of them. And it basically let loose the capability of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Online. That's not limited like its other competitive format, Duel Links, which is more of a faster way of playing the game.
Okay, so what is the premise of the game?
The premise of Yu-Gi-Oh? Okay, so there's multiple... The whole objective is to defeat your opponent, but the game gives you multiple ways of doing it. The most common way is reducing your opponent's life points to 0. Another way is to make it to where they can't draw any more cards. And some cards in the game have instant win conditions.
Right.
So, and you usually build a deck with 40 to 60 cards in it.
Okay.
And then you duel against people. Or you can do or you can have it against the computer in solo mode. As another example. But the only problem with this game, in my current opinion, because it's still kind of new, is that getting cards you want, either by trying to make them, or trying to pull them, like any normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Like card pack, can be very luck-based and very grindy. Because I said, this is basically a mobile game that allows you to create your own cards instead of trying to pull them constantly like, say, the other Yu-Gi-Oh! Games or real life. The only problem is it's completely luck-based. Normal packs here just have the cards from, I'm pretty sure, everything.
Right.
Whereas the secret packs have very specific cards, but you need to pull them from the regular packs, or you need to make them yourself and get lucky trying to pull them. So, I'll just go into solo mode because there is technically a tutorial on this, because they make you go through this to make sure you understand how this game works.
Okay, so you build your squad through your pack, right?
Yes, you can build it through your pack, or you can get very lucky.
Now you can buy, trade, sell, however you want to try to power up your deck. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's enough, but the only problem is, say if you're someone like me who likes to play a variety of different types of decks because you just like the lore or you like the character that uses them. Case in point, I have one for a show I watch, I have one for the real life cards I play, I have one for a character I really like.
And who is that?
The character's name is Jack Atlas. He is not the nicest person, but he plays very powerful cards, and I like their design. In fact, I recently bought a few of them.
And what was up?
I actually have them in this version of the deck. I don't have all of them, but the ones I bought were this one, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane.
And where can you buy these at?
You can buy these on Amazon, the trading card websites. All these vary in price on who you're asking.
What's the most?
The most ridiculous price, or the most that you usually go for?
The most ridiculous price. Both. Tell me both.
Okay, a more realistic price would be, say, this one, Red Supernova Dragon. It's not the best card, but it's powerful. It's good enough. It cost me about $5 to buy. A ridiculously priced card would surprisingly be this card, Red Rising Dragon. Not as powerful, but pretty versatile This one I saw on Amazon. It went for about like $25.
See, in my old head brain, part of me is thinking like, I thought you was gonna be like $100.
Some of them do go because they'd be like brand new and they're just
Fresh out the pack.
fresh out the pack, game breaking. Let's see. Let me go to. Let's see. This one I kind of use in real life, but has like some cards that I don't really use.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have this one. This one's called Ebon Illusion Magician. This one can go for a pretty high price at times.
And what's that? I mean, what price?
I've seen varied prices. On Amazon, I would say that it's mainly where you see them being very overpriced. Whereas in, let's say, on the trading card website, they can go for pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. If I like look up a card, I'd be pretty sure like, yeah, this card is like really expensive. But that's also just kind of like me, kind of like messing around. So let's use this one. I even posted videos like this is the last time you'll see me use it, but at least in ranked. Because even though I like using this type of deck, it's also very easy to brick with it.
Can you lose a card?
You can.
Is it like a game like you playing and somebody like, I got you, that's mine now?
No, they can't do that.
Alright. Because that would make me want to punch people.
Yeah,
throat punch them.
Yeah. The only way you can really lose cards is if you kind of like willingly trade them away to get certain points.
Understandable.
Yeah, like you willingly give points away. So in Yu-Gi-Oh, you can decide to go first or second. It's usually decided on a coin toss.
What about if they have like a tournament?
Oh, they have tournaments all the time, actually.
Yeah.
They do. There isn't one for this because it's still new. They just have ranks.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm in gold. The highest is platinum.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually close to it, but it wasn't really through using this Yu-Gi-Oh deck that I like playing with. It's just that it's also not very good competitively to fight against other people, because a competitive deck has to have multiple ways of getting around, if I'm being honest, your opponent's cards. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, despite the deck has...
Wait. You have to pull from your deck in order to play against them? Like, you can't arrange them?
No. You shuffle it up first, and then you pull the top 5 cards. So that's why it's also luck-based.
Gotcha. So you'd have to make your deck so complete that if you pull out, quote-unquote, a janky type card, it still could do damage in the right scenario and that you play it against somebody, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'm trying to understand, you dig?
Yes.
Now, if we was talking about cooking, I'd smoke you. But when we talk
we're talking about something that I know.
Right, and you'd smoke my boots.
Yeah. Fine. So, the whole point of the Jack Atlas Burning Soul deck, is the name I get, is to bring out the big, heavy hitter boss monsters that can basically tell your opponent F off, you can't do anything.
Right.
So, I took his monster for 1 turn at the cost of my life points. And I will use the ability called Synchro Summoning. You take 2 monsters, you add their levels, and you can special summon a monster from your extra deck.
Okay.
The extra deck can only contain 15 cards.
That's the one you had at the bottom when you were showing me the layout of your
cards.
Your deck?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So, since I summoned this card, I can bring back a Resonator.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, I'm bringing back Crimson, because it has a special ability where if the only other card you control that's a monster is a Dark Dragon, you can special summon some more Resonators. Okay, at this point, I choose Dark Resonator and Double Resonator. Because you can get some, like I said, you can get some pretty stupid combinations with how strong this is.
Yeah.
Case in point, I can go into the signature monster, Red Dragon Archfiend.
That look like the same card 2 in a row.
It is, because you have to have like multiples of certain cards.
Oh.
It's better you have multiples, so that way you can.
I'm glad you said that, because I was sitting up there. I'm like, huh?
You can have multiples of a card in your deck, but you cannot have more than 3.
Okay.
You can have 1, 2, 3, unless it's limited, semi-limited, or if it's forbidden. You just can't play that card.
All right.
But if you're playing with your friends, you really don't care, like me and my friends do. When we play, we're like, whatever. We don't care about the ban list.
Right.
So I can put in this monster, which can negate their abilities. I can put in this monster, which can wipe their field. Or I can put in this monster, which is giant. It's just a giant monster that says no, you can't do anything. But I will choose this one because I can negate their innate ability once per turn. Summon this. And like I said, there's multiple ways that you can go about beating your opponent. This one, like I said, just focuses on making sure your opponent cannot survive the amount of power you're putting out. And
what are you playing again?
I'm just playing against a computer.
Oh, okay.
Just like to show off, like I said, this deck is not good against fighting other people. I have another deck that's very good against other people because it can just bring out monsters quickly.
Right.
And it has a few ways of just making sure your opponent cannot play. The only real way this deck has the ability to make sure your opponent cannot play is having a trap card that just says, say goodbye to every card monster on the field.
Kick rocks.
Yes, basically. I have a few cards that basically say kick rocks, no, you can't play. Like this one. Once per turn, I can negate their card on the field's ability. So if it has an innate ability, I can say, no, you don't get to do it. And I can do it whenever I want.
This is like Uno on steroids.
With Uno, it's luck of the draw.
But skip you, reverse, draw 2, skip, reverse, draw 4, Uno, out.
Basically, is what it can be. Nope.
Oh.
Alright, so the type of deck I'm playing against is an opponent who relies on getting their monsters out of the graveyard, being banished, and they also have abilities when they're banished. Case in point, this one can be used as ability to bring out the white cards, the synchro monsters.
White card?
There's black cards too.
Racist.
Don't you do that?
Racist.
They got all the colors of the rainbow here.
Yugioh went racist.
They got all the colors of the rainbow here.
All the colors, huh?
All the colors.
Like pride. Hey, karaoke. I digress.
Alright, so they have this card. If you send it to the graveyard, you can destroy it. But if I activate this card, I can basically say no, you don't get to play, and I can just get rid of every single card on the field.
And there it is.
Which I think I will.
Bam.
Say goodbye to all your cards.
All of them.
Bye.
Both of them.
But it also gets mine.
F-U-N.
It also gets mine, unfortunately. But I could also do something that's kind of cool.
What?
Well, if I had the ability to, I could play Resonator Command, discard a card.
Right.
Or in this case, a Resonator monster. Send it to the graveyard, and I can add one card from my deck to my hand. That's a Fiend.
What's a Fiend?
It's one of the types of monsters. There's 17 different types, ranging from like warrior to magician, dragon, stuff like that. Fiends usually are darker monsters, as in they have an attribute.
Right.
Like almost every single, like this is why it's kind of hard to explain Yu-Gi-Oh, because like you have to explain like multiple aspects of the game to someone, case in point like my dad, who doesn't know like a whole lot about the game
at all. But you know what? As I've gotten older, I've accepted ignorance in the truest definition, and that's why I'm open to hearing how this works.
Yeah. So here's a really powerful card I can bring out. I can bring out Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane, or I can bring out the term is called Boss Monster for its either incredible stats, abilities, or how you could just work with your deck. For this one, Hot Red Dragon Arching King Calamity, my opponent cannot activate anything. You're just locked out of your turn, and you can't do anything. So, I will do that. And just be able to send those cards to the graveyard, and show off this animation. Boom!
And there you have it.
And I can activate abilities depending on it was summoned. So I activate its ability. Opponent can't activate Jack. But if Red Rain is in the graveyard while I Secret Summon a Dark Dragon, I get added from my graveyard to my hand again. So I get another way of saying F you, you don't get to play.
This sounds like the ultimate game of shade. Like, you know what, let me just eliminate you out the game real quick. Or not necessarily out the game, but let me just eliminate your cards in one swoop.
That's kind of like the joke about Yu-Gi-Oh! Multiple people say, if I cannot beat you in one turn, your deck is doing something wrong.
As far as what?
That's how it is for things that are declared as tiers of decks. A tier 1 deck means like it could basically almost never be beaten unless you have a very specific counter, or if you are like me in college, you have a very stupid deck setup that no one expects.
A stupid deck setup that no one expects.
Yes, I have faced people where I beat them because they drew all their cards and they say, your deck is so bad that I could not play against it.
I get it.
Yeah, because like it had no consistency.
Right.
So, if this was like the show, the show only has it where you have 4,000 life points. The actual in-life card game gives you 8,000. But if this was a show, I would have beaten him almost twice over already.
So, would you say, I know you say you have platinum, gold, and all of that. Are you like a top tier gold member? Or are you like, consider yourself like the lowest of platinum? They just ain't giving you the status yet.
I do not actually consider myself the most amazing player, because I'm the type of person who likes to play the cards that they like. As a person, I don't really care about tiers all that much. If I like a character in a fighting game, and it just so happened to be top tier, it's because I like the character. Like, case in point, Mortal Kombat X.
Right.
Predator, I believe, was considered top tier, but I just like the Predator, which is why I played him. So, it's kind of like that when you get to games like this. I made this deck because I like the character of Jack Atlas.
It's almost like you're about to say a whole nother word.
I know. That's the problem with this.
It's like low-key hilarious. Like, I'll be waiting on it to like kind of slip. Not that you would, but I'm just saying.
Alright. This guy tries to bring out another monster to see if it can work. And
learned yet, huh?
It's a computer, so at most it can get very annoying because I played against a computer the other night on one of my days off, and the computer, I kid you not, took about 40 minutes to make its turn. So I was able to actually play the game I have on my Switch. I was almost about to fall asleep waiting for the computer to make its turn.
I definitely would have.
Because that's how...
I'm like, bruh, if you don't hurry the hell up.
Yeah, like, at times that's why it gets annoying, but it's also kind of hilarious. So... Alright, this guy brought a big boss monster. I say no, you don't get to play.
Skip you. Is that what you kind of did?
Basically. And he couldn't do anything because my card also makes it to where my big boss monster cannot be affected, and I drew another version of it. So, this card can be considered very broken because of how strong it is.
Right.
But I have another deck that basically does its job, but better and faster, but also making it to where your opponent can't really play.
Okay.
So I have that, and look, watch. I will switch to a different deck that I use. This is the one I use competitively, I say, but I just like the show that the characters in this deck are based on. I haven't, like I said, I have another deck that's based on the one I actually use in real life, Magical Ice Fusion. I have this one because I also like the character.
Right.
So I will use this one. This is called the Dragon Maid deck.
Now, did you give it that name?
No, this is what the card series is called. It's called Dragon Maid.
Uh-huh.
It's very strong because it can bring out powerful monsters very quickly. And they're all have like special abilities where they, if you get them while they're summoned.
Why does your extra deck only have 11 cards then, instead of 15?
15 is the maximum. You don't have to. Like 60 is the maximum for the main deck.
But you
don't
wouldn't
have
need them, huh?
Yeah, if that's the problem. Like the maximum is 60, but you don't want to have 60. Because having 60 means it's harder to get the cards you need. So we'll try again against this opponent. I could just get a bad hand and lose. Because, which does happen, it's very possible to get bad hands often and quick in this game.
I can see that.
To be fair though, in real life, my bad hands, even though I have a large deck count for the one I use, it doesn't happen often.
Because you strategically put cards in there to comprise your deck.
Yeah, or I have them like, alright, I can go through faster or slow. So the Dragon Maids, like I said, they specialize on adding cards or sending them to the graveyard to activate their abilities.
Right.
So case in point, I can use this spell, Changeover, to basically fuse two monsters together.
That sounds like cheating.
Well, you know how I said with Synchro you could add the levels together?
Yeah.
It's kind of like this. Fusion's actually an older mechanic.
What do you fix on? Oldsmobiles, Cadillacs, trucks?
Funny. No. I can bring out this card called House Dragon Maid, which is the second strongest card in the whole deck. Because it allows you to do very stupid stuff.
How often can you use that card?
For fusions, they have very specific conditions on how they can be brought out. Like with Synchros, you don't get a whole lot that say you need this specific card with this specific monster. You don't get that a lot. But with Fusion, they require very specific materials, or you need to play a certain archetype of cards to get it. So with House Dragon Maid, you need to have a Dragon Maid monster and a dragon. But since all the main deck monsters are dragons, that's not really a problem.
Right.
You can only normal summon or set once per turn. And depending on the card, it might have an ability. Yellow cards have no ability, but these orange ones do. For Parlor Dragon Maid, I can send a Dragon Maid card from my deck to the graveyard for no cost. So, if I wanted to bring out stronger monsters, I would send this card. Case in point. But here's something dumb. I can activate this card from my graveyard. I can bring it to my hand, and if I did, I'd be able to destroy one card on my opponent's field for free, basically, because of this card. But I'm not going to do that because I will go straight into the battle phase. And by doing so, I can activate the weaker Dragon Maid's abilities. They can swap out for their true forms of dragons.
Right.
From either your hand or graveyard, so I have two choices here. And if you pick out the stronger ones, they get the ability of not being able to be destroyed by card effects. So you take this, activate its ability, destroy that. But he also activates the ability to do that to make it to where he destroys my monsters, because it's a prick, but now actually destroy them, destroy. And he chooses to destroy that one first, but due to the other's ability, you can also do stupid stuff like this. That's why it's like, You have to make sure your cards are good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So this says it can be face up, but I'm going to do something stupid. If it works, it sometimes does.
Mm-hmm.
I turned it face down, but it still destroyed it because even though it said face up, it didn't work, so I can't do anything.
So that was an L.
Basically. That's why I said, even if you face the computer can still win.
Absolutely.
Because it builds a competent deck to fight you is the thing. It's not impossible to lose. It's just that if you use the deck they give you in story mode, it's very easy to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes they don't have consistency. So, say if I wanted to do, let's say, I can summon this one again. Activate its ability, send a card to the graveyard. But instead of sending a monster, I'll send my trap. I activate my trap card from the grave. If I banish it, I can special summon a dragon to their field. Disappoint the dragon that they destroyed. And I'll activate this card's ability now. Return this one to my hand. And I can activate this card's ability. Destroy their card. And there they go, they activate another one of the cards to where they banish it. And they made it to where they don't take damage this turn. And then they did the thing again where they destroy it.
And you're not playing against a person, but
a computer. The computer can be very good. I'm not going to say they're not impossible again to lose against.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that very often it can, well, happen. Like I said, it's usually going to happen with a loner deck that you get from them that they give you rewards for trying to beat them with. But only one have I looked online have people say they actively hate because it's just not good. Because it has no balance. And the game gives you the wrong information. Because it's supposed to give you the information on the cards that you're supposed to use. But they give you the wrong deck. So right now it's actually kind of messed up in terms of its translation. Unfortunately. Activate this. Special summon a monster from my graveyard. In defense position. So I will special summon this. Because I get to activate its ability, and I can send one card from my deck to the graveyard. The problem with modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that the technical issue there. Unfortunately, CJ kicked the cord, so now we also don't have gameplay audio now, unfortunately. I'm trying to figure that out. But it doesn't look like a gameplay. I shall test it real quick, so I will probably cut the video here because I basically explained the whole game of the Yu-Gi-Oh! To my dad at this point.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I might need to go get me, start making me a deck.
You have money, I don't. So you can't do that.
I work.
You work.
I mean, you work too, but
It's just that I don't have money.
yeah, I'm a college student.